Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the whole NMSU men's basketball team, some of the coaching staff, some of the players, kind of just discuss what the team's looking like right now because Coach Hooten just signed his last player, Nate Shamanga. And again, he's teaming up with his player, Emmanuel, so it'll be cool to have that brotherly love connection on the team. We have our 13 scholarship players done with, so there's always a chance, like I said, we might sign more guys before the season starts, but we'll just see how it all goes. We have the 13 that we need, so pretty much a full team. Probably the team right now is the team that we'll have for the upcoming season, or what the team is going to be looking like. So I'm just discuss the team, what players I think are going to be great for us, and hopefully lead us to a lot of wins. A lot of times when I make these videos, I like to have like a layout, so a lot of times I write what I'm going to say, kind of study it over and all that. But this time I don't really have that. I don't really need that because I'm already talking about a lot of the guys I already talked about before and that I already know a lot about. So it'll be really easy to do. One thing I do want to mention before I start the video, I was talking about the weights. I was saying the most I could do is 45. I can do a lot more than that. But here at the house, the only weights that we really have, the highest amount of weights we have is 45. So I can't do 50 or 55 if I even wanted to. Like on, dumbbell press, I'm used to doing a lot more, but I can only do 45, so that's why I do reps of like 30 to 50. But with the way I said it made it out like I'm weak, and I can only do 45. Like, I can do a lot more than that. So that's why I just do a whole lot of reps. So I just want to clear that up. I don't want you guys to think I'm a weak man, Been trying to get stronger each and every day, and then obviously when I get back to NMSU, gonna be working at the AC, or working out at the AC there. So that'll be great to do. But this video is not about me; it's about the Aggies. So let's get right into it. My allergies have been really bad, so if you hear me sniff or whatever, or anything go on, just know it's from my allergies. The weather change and all that here in Washington compared to New Mexico is crazy. Not as hot, but that is summer. It's kind of changing back into the heat a little bit, so that's been a little bit of a struggle trying to get through. I'm sure it'll go away soon. First player I want to talk about is Christian Cook. He's probably our best returner, I would say. He's a big time player for us last year. Whenever Robert wasn't able to finish the season with us, and then there's a lot of times where Femi wasn't always consistent. I think Christian was one of our more consistent players and leaders. He led the team in scoring, averaging 11.3 points per game. Had many big scoring performances. You hear me say 11 points, but he had games where he had 27. He had 26 a couple games. He had that 27-point game against Liberty. I believe that was his best game all season. He was really close to having like a 30 ball some games, especially at home. He was really good at home. On the road, he kind of struggled, but we all struggled on the road. He had moments during the season. I think he had like a one stretch where he was a little off. But whenever he was at home, he was always cooking, living up to the last name. Had many great games. Had 26 points the last game against FIU. Had 20 points in the game against Western Kentucky in the first round of the Conference USA tournament, which we lost by 20. But Western Kentucky did win the whole thing and go to the NCAA tournament and losing to Marquette in the first round. I believe that's who they played. So at least we can say that we lost to the team that went to go win the whole, Conference USA tournament. But this year, hopefully, we have a better chance at doing that. So that really helped us scoring out a lot. Because Christian was averaging like 9 or 10 points about a month of the season. Then he just rose a lot, with his scoring ability towards the end of the season and his shooting ability. He shot the ball very well. He's our best shooter. I knew going into the season he was going to be one of our better shooters, but he's probably just as a defender. He was pretty solid on defense. Guy who was able to get a lot of great stops for us. And I wasn't expecting him to be a big-time player for us, but he was. He was arguably our best player, him and Femi and all that. And even Robert's another returner for us who's going to be great for us, I think. He's going to be solid. I can't wait to see how he does. He had many big games this past season where he kept us in it, and many big games where he was able to lead us to a comeback. Again, unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish the season with us. And I feel like if he did, we would have had a chance to win a lot more games at a higher seed in Conference USA and would have had a better chance to win more games in the tournament, Conference USA tournament. But having him back is going to be huge, along with all the other guys that are coming back, and the new guys we have. Jaden Harris, another guy that's coming back, a guy who I've talked to a good amount of times. Him and Keelan were the guys I wouldn't say I was closest with on the team, but the guys I talked to the most just because they're always hanging out. So I was on around campus eating at Taos Dining. If you guys go to NMSU, you guys know what I'm talking about, Taos. Let me know in the comment section if you guys like Taos, because the food isn't like the greatest, but it's kind of what we have. And at the same time, we'll eat what we have to eat. We're all college students. I know there's when I was actually talking to Keelan at the beginning of the year, he was talking about the freshman 15, how that's true, how you gain like 15 pounds as a freshman like the first couple weeks of school. So he's saying he's about 185 and got to 200. But let me know in the comments. I want to kind of engage with you guys a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think of that place, if it's good or not, or what your favorite place on campus is to eat, like Chick-fil-A, Subway, Frederick Food Court. There's a bunch of great places to eat on campus. Not as much as like a bigger campus like Duke or something like that, or Washington or Oregon, but there's obviously still a lot of great options. Another player that's returning for us is Chris, big guy Chris, and we didn't really get to see a whole lot of him last year. He only played in that one game for about 6 minutes, only took one shot attempt, missed it. but wasn't able to really show us what he can do. I don't think he's gonna be a guy that's gonna be in the stat sheets a lot. Like he might be at the bottom of the stat sheets a lot of times, but I think he's gonna be a guy that can come and impact winning at our level, and just work hard. I think he's gonna be a hard worker for us, probably one of our harder workers. Coach Uden said that when he first came, that he likes his work ethic, and he's just gonna come in. I think that's how he's gonna earn minutes, honestly. As of now, we have 2 freshmen who I made a video on, little recent, a couple weeks ago about Jacoby Osborne and Gabe Pickens. Going to both be solid guards for us. Can't wait to say they do. Again, Gabe, he's about a 6-foot guard, but he's a big guard. Pretty good on defense. Facilitates for his teammates. I think he's going to be one of our, I want to say one of our top guys in assists this first year. It really depends on the minutes he gets, but I think if he develops into a player, into a starting point guard position, within the next couple years or less, he can be a great facilitator. Average like 5 to 6 assists a game, which would be huge in Conference USA. He'll probably lead it, honestly. I think this past year, Jordan Rawls led Conference USA with assists, and Jalen Jackson Posey was right there with him. Speaking of Jalen Jackson Posey, he's at Texas Southern, HBCU, so congrats to him for being there. It does suck that we don't have him on the team anymore, but at the same time, we have Deontay Bostic, who I love. Jalen Jackson Posey. He was a great player for us. I actually talked to him a couple times. Really cool and chill dude, but I don't even think he's half the player Deontay is. I think Deontay's going to be, a really great player for us. He averaged 15 points at Cal State Northridge in a tougher conference than Conference USA. I think he's a guy that can come in and average about 18 points a game. Probably our best player, I would assume. He's going to I want to say a weaker conference, but a conference that, I guess you could say it's a weaker conference, but it's still a good conference, Conference USA. So I think he's going to be able to come in and just dominate and do a lot of great things. I'm not sure what his goals are going to be after this past year, because he only has 1 year of eligibility. I'm not sure if he's going to try to go play professionally or NBA if he's, feels like he's that good enough. I know a lot of guys running the draft this year just because they feel like this year was their best year, just because the draft isn't as great. And I've said this multiple times in the past couple videos. I still think this draft's gonna be underrated, and I keep saying that because I really do believe in it, and I wanted to call it. So if I do call it, you heard it here first. Another guy that we have is Peter Philippovity. I can't pronounce his last name, but him and Robert, I think, are gonna be really great forwards for us in the front court. I'm assuming they're gonna both start or have multiple games where they start and run the court together. So I think they're gonna work really well together. Peter averaged 14 points per game last year and 7 rebounds at Maine, so really big time signing for us. Robert averaged about 10 points last year for us, but he also averaged 16 points at a different school right before he got to NMSU. I can't remember what school he was at on the top of my head, but they both know how to score the ball, put the ball on the floor, do great things for us. And I don't think Peter can shoot the ball that well, but Robert can. So Peter might be able to dominate the paint a little bit more than Robert, but Robert will be able to shoot the ball a little bit better. So it's great to have both those combined. Wadey Jackson's another guy that we signed. He was a great Division II basketball player. Averaged 22 points per game at the Division II level, which I don't think it led all Division II, but it was one of the top. Again, if you're averaging over 20 in college, that is absolutely insane. So he's a big-time scorer. I'm not expecting him to start for us because we have other great guards like Deontay Bostic and Christian Cook's returning. But again, even though he's a D2, or he was D2, he's now D1. The school he was at was actually going to be D1 in Georgia. But Christian Cook, our best player from this last year, played Division II basketball. I can't remember what school it was called. What's like a Northeast? I don't even know what school, honestly. I can't remember. I remember what it was at one point, but it's been so long since I've looked into all that stuff. But he was a great Division II player and was able to make the transformation to a Division I team just fine. Kind of helped that he was with the Aggies just because we were in a rebuild year, but he's going to be great for us, and I think Wadey will as well. I think Christian Cook's going to be our leader, probably be our number 1 leader, I would say, and I think Deontay's going to be our best player. So excited to see how that all goes. Has some great posts. Nate and Emmanuel Shimanga, or I guess forwards post, and then who else? Edward Namoko. It's gonna be great for us. Chris, we have come back, but I talked about a little bit earlier. So it's great to have all those posts coming back together. The last player I want to talk about is Carl Cherenfont. He was a great, player in high school. He played at Memphis last year. Didn't play a whole lot. Played in 18 games as a true freshman. Averaged a little less than a point. So you look at the stats and this guy's not gonna be that great. But he's got a lot of potential. Like I said, he was great in high school, and I think he can excel in the Conference USA conference. Memphis, they're obviously in a way tougher conference, so it'll be great to see how he does in Conference USA against those teams and that level. Again, I'm not expecting him to come in and be a starter right away, but I think he can start some games. Coach Uden and a lot of coaches will change their lineups a lot throughout the season, just kind of see what works best and what are the best fits. Like I said, Christian Cook, I wasn't expecting him to be a guy. And when I did an interview with Coach Uden, he said Christian Cook was a guy who surprised him. You should actually go check out that story on Coke Belly, and I'll put it on the screen probably, or have a link somewhere that you guys can go check that out. Really greatly appreciate that. One thing I do want to mention that I'm really excited for this next semester is I'm going to be helping with News 22 at NMSU. If you guys don't know what that is, if you guys are on an NFU campus, you guys probably do, but if you're not, you might not know. It's just a news outlet for the school that's a student-ran news outlet, and I won't be like the one on the camera, kind of like what I'm doing here. I won't be doing that, but I will be doing a lot of the writing. Really excited to do that. It's a new website we're going to be starting, and I've actually thought about starting a website for Mexico State men's basketball news. I'd have to get that all situated, know what the payments are like, because I wouldn't be able to do it right away, obviously. It would take some time. But if I'm able to build a website with my professors and friends that I work with and all that, or other students that I'll get to know. Like I said, it's a student-ran thing. If we all work on that together to get that website built, I can have an idea, and so I can maybe turn this into more of a website thing in the future. Not right now, obviously. I'm only 19, but I want to try to get it all situated because I think that'd be really great, and I can make some good money off it. But it's not all about the money, obviously. I just want to, because there's a lot of people that talk about Aggie sports, but it's like all Aggie sports, and if I just do basketball, I think that could be something that's really big. A lot of my friends, I actually had a friend, Matt, at one of the football games. I think he was drunk and high. Both, but he came up to me and was like, hey man, like you kind of tell the way he was talking, he was not all there, but he was telling me that he thinks all this stuff's gonna blow up and be great, and that's gonna keep on getting a lot of followers and subscribers, and that's gonna be big one day. So hopefully he's right. And a lot of times when you're drunk, high, or both, a lot of times the truth comes out. So maybe he was right. One guy, I think a couple of people were commenting on this, and I mentioned a little bit, is Luis Duarte. I don't think he's coming back because I've already mentioned the 13 guys, and every time I had his 13 guys, so I don't think he's coming back. If he is, that'd be 14. The only reason I was thinking that he might come back is because he was at NMSU all year long and was working out with the team, working out with the coaches and all that. So I didn't know if he's going to be able to come back or not. Maybe he'll sign somewhere else, or maybe he'll go back and play for Overtime Elite or somewhere overseas. I'm not sure. But I do not think he'll be coming back. Fun fact, him and Christian were actually roommates, and they live right next to me. I'm not going to say where because I don't want you guys to stop them. But they're not there anymore. Well, Christian's there, but Lewis isn't. Not sure if Christian will be living in the same spot, but I'll be with one of my other friends. So I won't be living near him unless they change his room close to where I'm at. Coach Hoon's a great coach. I think he's going to do a lot of great things this year. He has a great staff with him. Preston Laird, former Aggie coach or assistant coach, he's going to be, he was part of some great winning teams. Sean Buchanan, who I made a video on yesterday, again, a winner, and he's going to be able to help us win a lot of games. I think he's got that mentality, that dog mentality, so can't wait to have him back. Terriante Thomas, another great coach for us. We have some other great guys. I'm not sure who. I know we had a lot of the guys from the coaching staff last year. I'm not sure who's all staying from the coaching staff because I haven't heard too much news on that. I just know Jeremy Hart's at SMU as a player development coach over there, which is what he did for us. So wishing him the best of luck over there. He was also at Kansas State before he was with us. So he's done a lot of great schools, great programs. Can't wait to see his journey and all that, what he's doing. He's doing a great job with all that. But yeah, that's going to pretty much close out the video. Kind of just wanted to talk about all the guys because I know I've made videos on all of them. But kind of want to just talk now that they're all together. So hopefully they all work well together, and I think they will. I've been seeing their, it's the NM State MBB, the official account. They've been posting a lot about how they're practicing and all that, and they're looking pretty good, looking athletic and all that. I can't wait to see how they all do. As long as they just work hard and are committed and follow, Coach Hoon's system and listen to him, I think they're going to be successful and do a lot of great things and have a winning season. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a winning season. Again, they'll probably have, I would assume, 31 games. So I'm hoping for at least 16 wins, if not more. I would say anywhere from 16 to 18 would be more ideal, or not ideal would be like 20 or more. But it's kind of too early to say. I'll have more of an idea of what the team will, probably look like once I see what the other teams in Conference USA are looking like. And we'll do a whole video on that right before the season, and do more of a prediction video. But if I had to guess right now, I'd say anywhere from 16 to 18 wins, maybe 20 if we're, fortunate enough to get there. Because again, that's hard to do in college basketball, but the Aggies are accustomed to doing that. We have some guys on our coaching staff, like I was talking about earlier, who are used to being on teams with 25 plus wins. So it's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to see how it all goes, and I'm out.